Okay, so we're done talking about your social media account for Humidor Manila. Figure out that your unique selling point is your humidor plus you're selling cigar. Pero the way you do it is not to actually sell the cigar, but the humidor. So that's your funnel to get them to buy your secondary product. So your gateway product is humidor. So have that mindset that your main product will always be your product one is humidor. So that's what makes money for the brand. And then it's just a plus. Like me, when I started selling shoes, if only I figured out earlier, instead of selling shoes in my store, wherein my profit margins were smaller, if I learned that I should have made more clothes of my brand, then I would have started a lot earlier. When I opened my store, sold some in 2012 in Tahanan in the South, I had them in mind to have the store sell shoes. Pero when I put in yung mga broken sizes of the event shirts from Soul Slam 2011, Christmas Soul Slam, Summer Soul Slam, when I was put in my shirts, ubos agad. Within 3-5 days lang, ubos na kahit broken sizes, binibili nila. But I didn't see that as a trigger na I should have been making clothes because my mindset was on selling, buying shoes for 10,000, selling it for 12. Kung lucky ako, the 10,000 shoes is worth 20,000. Doon nakafocus yung utak ko. Pero I didn't even see the trigger of a shirt that costs 200 pesos to make and I sell it for 600, that's a margin of what? Times 3. Hindi ko siya na-realize agad. And I wasn't too late because I did that starting in 2014. Imagine that, 2012, 13, 14. I had 2 years when I was not thinking about selling clothes until such time yung friend ko na gumagawa ng mga t-shirt. Sabi niya, bro, let's make shirts for your brand. Sayang eh. Kasi I'm supplying for events. Isipin mo pag event ko, I was selling out 1,000 shirts in 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Kasi nakafocus on selling shoes.
Oo. Pero I wasn't looking at where the real money maker was. The brand. Because kahit sabihin ko, benta ko ng 1,000 yung shirt, cost ko 200 pa rin. People are still gonna buy it, regardless. Because it's like going to Disneyland. When you go to the event, Disneyland, you buy Mickey Mouse shirt. And when you come back, you buy another Mickey Mouse shirt, perhaps. Siguro si Donald Duck na bibili mo na t-shirt. Diba? It's an experience. So it's the same thing when they go to your store, they buy something that you resell as a product, and then you have your own Humidor branded product. Whatever that is, you'll figure it out even sooner. I mean, as you go on. Pero, kasi that's where your profit margins are when you make your own product. Imagine this, like this cigar cutter. There's no brand here. Walang branding. But if you have it etched here on the side with Humidor Manila, it now becomes your own product. I mean, I don't know how much this costs. Let's say my cost for this 500 is to make this in China. And then you have it engraved with Humidor Manila. Now it becomes a Humidor Manila product. That you can sell, let's say, for 1.5. I don't know. Right? So now you have better margins because it's your own product. Now it becomes a legitimate product of yours. Like this eyeglasses that I have, I know for a fact that eyeglasses, because I've been to China a lot of times and I know how much these cost. It's like 30 pesos, 40 pesos to make, but they're saying at 300 times the margin. I mean, I got this for more than 4,000 including the lens. But if it's just the normal glasses with the normal lens, I'd buy it for 2,000. But the cost of this is less than 50 pesos. I would know. I know where the source is. Where does it boil down to? Marketing. I'm not gonna mention the brand of this, but I know that how much it costs. But when I slap on my logo and my brand, it now becomes a viable brand wherein people would want to buy more because it's a relatable brand and they believe in it, right? Like, if you put in a water jug, this one, I'd buy it for 500 online. You can buy it in Lazada. Now I put in this brand,
2.5.
now becomes 2.5, right? It's the brand that sells. It's not the product. It's the reason why you buy this kind of toothpaste versus this kind of toothpaste. You need to have a focus on your brand and your brand alone. Because the cigars, until such time that you make Humidor Manila cigars, which is maybe in the pipeline in the future, but not now, your margins are still gonna be very slim.
Yes.
Diba? I don't know what your margin, but I'm sure for a fact that you'll be hurt with a 10% margin. With that, instead of having, imagine this has a times 3 profit, 300% margin versus 10%. It's a
Pero
no-brainer.
syempre, kung let's say I'm considering yung okay yan, yung about branding
Yeah.
or let's say that cutter. Pero gusto ko magandang quality pa rin siya.
Of course, you can't just, make this flimsy.
Para
I mean, if it was made of plastic, no one would buy this shit, right? So, it's up to you how to find the perfect supplier.
Torch
That-
nga pwede.
Yeah, torch, everything that's needed. Ashtray, like I bought this ashtray, and if this didn't have a brand, then this would be what, 50 pesos? But now it has a brand. I bought it for almost 1,000, I think, maybe even more. I forgot how much it cost, right? So, and that's why memorabilia sell. When you go to a theme park, it's not the tickets to go into the theme park that sells. It's their merch. Diba? After you go into the log ride, diba? Woo! Saya, diba? You get your picture and then you buy a shirt because it's the experience. Diba? Same with, for example, going to Jollibee. Right? Why do kids buy the toys? Because they bring home the experience with them.
Perfect example, I took my kids sa concert. Why don't we na concert?
Why don't we?
Why don't we? So, medyo sikat siya sa mga kids. Yung ticket na, I bought their ticket at 15,000 each.
Wow! That's $300. Okay?
Yung pinabili nilang merch, worth 15,000 din.
See? I mean, for sure, whatever that merch is, the margins for that are huge. Like, when you go to a Kanye West concert back then, if a Gildan shirt with the print of, Pablo would cost to make $4. But it's sold for what? $35. You see the margins in that? It's huge. No, I bought it for $65 for some. Imagine going to a Guns N' Roses concert or a U2 concert. How much would a shirt cost? Right? Maybe as much as the ticket, perhaps. Right? When I go to all concert events, hindi malabo na bibili ako ng merchandise because it's part of the experience like I got this shirt or this
Souvenir.
or when I go to NBA games, why do they sell yung mga malalaking hand signs, di ba?
Para pag mag-free throw.
Oh, yung mag-free throw ng gugulo, yung mga balloon binibigyan nila. It's the experience. It's all part of the experience. So your product has to have its own brand. Otherwise, you'll just become a reseller, di ba? So, that's why I advise all my friends who are in the sneaker games to have your own product. Because if you're reselling sneakers, think of it this way. If you're reselling sneakers, and then all of a sudden, like your moneymaker, this brand, stops selling, you'll be gone. What are you going to be selling? Nothing. Right? If, for example, my brand, Sneaker Store PH, for example, that's my brand, and I sell 1 million pesos worth of sneakers every month, and all of a sudden that brand goes away. What are you now? You're just a shell, right? But what if you have a Sneaker Store PH product, and people buy that, so they know now that I collect shoes or stuff. Like, ano yung sikat na sa States na consignment store, like Fly Club. Fly Club is when you go there, if you can't buy the shoes, you buy the shirt. Fly Club shirt. It's what, $45 for a $4 shirt to make, diba? But if you can't afford the shoes, which $500, $1,000 and such, so or you buy the shoes and you buy the shirt, I'm sure that their margin for that is never gonna be the same. Mas malaki pa rin yung margin mo with your own product.
Tsaka pwede kasing kontrolin ng nire-resell mo.
Oh,
Ibalik ka
yeah.
nila.
What if, for example, you got the shoes for 10,000 and then you're selling for 12,000? Now they change their price to 12,000. So you can't still sell it for 12. Now you have to sell it for 14 or maybe 15. Kasi yung tax mo pa to bring it here. Diba? You're at the mercy of the product that you resell. And that's why I'm not a firm believer of selling products that's not my own. I like building products on my own. Whenever I go into any brand or business, is that I brand it myself. Kasi if I cannot brand it, if I cannot put my stamp or logo in it, then I cannot have a good profit margin in
Pero
it.
syempre, you have to start somewhere.
You can. Yeah.
You have to start.
And
Bago mo magawa yun, na meron kang own brand, magsa-start ka as a reseller.
Yeah.
As a reseller,
Yeah.
hanggang mabuild mo yung brand.
You evolve from it. But now you realize that your unique selling point is that you sell humidor. Because on your ref, the one I'm gonna get from you, yung ref na yun has a Humidor Manila logo. Right? So now, every time I look at it, it's a Humidor Manila logo. It's not a made in China product, right?
Humidor Manila. Humidor.
When I buy this case from the store, I don't know which store I bought it from because it doesn't have a brand. There's nothing. There's no labels. So, it's just case. Cigar case. But then I put the logo here. Now, if I bought this for 4,000, it can now become 6,500, 7,000, 8,000. I don't know. It's how you present it, eh. It's how you present your product. It's all about how you brand things. Like a shirt, this shirt that I'm wearing is a Uniqlo brand. It's nothing. You don't see the logo until I told you, right? But here, there's the logo, but there's none. Diba? Pero now, if I put a logo here of my brand, it now becomes mine. If I put, let's say, my brand here, Antonio, now it becomes an Antonio shirt. So, if I got this for 600, I can now sell this for 1,200, 1,500. There's your margin. Kaya, that's why restaurants can make a lot because of their gateway product. Let's say you go to a cafe wherein their number one selling product, let's say it's Starbucks, you go to Starbucks and number one selling is Frappuccino, for example. Diba? It's their own branding. Coffee will always be coffee. Kahit sabihin mo ng Sumatra or galing pa yan sa ganto, Peruvian or whatever, it's rare, the taste of coffee will always be bitter. Diba? Coffee is coffee, however you put it. It doesn't change. But why can you sell a Frappuccino for 200 pesos and this startup coffee shop can only sell the same type of coffee for only 120?
Di ba yung frap to go nga ng Starbucks? Magkano yun? Tas
Oh,
may
120.
Tapos
Yeah.
yung coffee ko 20.
Coffee ko. The coffee ko is 20 pesos. Pero once
Ay, iba naman yung lasa nun.
pero once I put ice in it, I blend it, wala na. You'd be hard pressed to guess on a blind test. Right? Either a normal drinker. Maybe an advanced drinker. Oh, like with wine. Kaya nga may sommelier, di ba? It's because just by smell and taste, alam na niya kung ano yung $10 wine versus a $1,000 wine. Kung merong ganun, di ba? Ganun yun eh. Kasi taste levels na yun. Pero the general user, you can't. Fried chicken will always be fried chicken. But why is Max different from KFC, from Bonchon, Jollibee? Everyone has their favorites. Di ba? Pag tinanong mo, ano favorite mo chicken? Favorite mo chicken? Oh, Popeyes, ganun. Iba-iba. So, everyone has their own favorite. It's their take on it eh. So, yun yung unique ng product mo. It's your pinaka-main product mo. Your gateway product is the humidor. So, if it comes in storing 600, 500, 250, that's gateway product 1A, 1B, 1C. Because it cannot be a product 1, 2, or 3. Because it's still a humidor. But this can be your product 2. Ito hindi kasi nakasaksak sa kuryente to eh. So this is gateway product number 2. When you say gateway, yun yung pinupuntahan ng tao. Di ba?
Maganda nga rin yung, actually yung brother ko yung gumawa eh. Parang dun sa bio nung IG account, parang nakasulat, selling humidors and everything inside it.
Oh, yeah.
So parang, ano ba yung nasa loob ng humidor?
Or you can just say quality humidors and everything else inside it. Di ba? So, I mean, whatever you put in humidor, I don't know. Can you put a camera lens sa loob ng humidor?
Parang sinasabi niya lang, medyo waiting nga eh. Parang sinasabi niya lang doon, ano ba yung ilalagay mo sa humidor? Wala ka naman ibang ilalagay
Kung hindi cigar.
sa loob ng humidor kung hindi cigar.
Yeah.
Without saying the word cigar,
Yeah.
nasabi mo na nagbibenta rin kami ng cigar.
Yes. So in a way that's your follow through. Like I have a friend who started selling yoga mats. Yoga mats lang. And he sold his company for almost 2 million US dollars from something that he had made in China. This is just a rubber mat, 4 millimeters thick. Kasi usually yoga mats are 2 millimeters thick. It's kanya 4. So may extra thickness siya and durability. And now he made another one which is 10 millimeters thick para doon sa mga nagko-crossfit. So ibang market na may na-capture niya.
Oh.
'Di ba? But sabi ko, 4 millimeter thick and 10 millimeter thick is still gateway product 1A and 1B because it's still a yoga mat. Pero now he started selling yoga pants. Okay, now we're talking. Now that's
1B.
product B. No, that's product 2. Gateway product 1, now you have gateway product 2 because for the yoga pants, kasama mo na yung yoga pants. 'Di ba? And then meron ka ng sa babae, meron na sila parang sports bra and such. May water bottle na. So, pero hindi naman pupuntahan yung water bottle sa store niya eh. Ang pupuntahan pa rin yung mats. 'Di ba? But now you've expanded slowly. 'Di ba? I don't know if you know the brand Herschel. Herschel started with what? Backpacks, 'di ba? And then now meron na silang luggage, carry-on, tsaka
Mga jackets.
check-in. Oh, may wallet na. Why? Why does it make Why does it make sense? 'Di ba? Na from backpack you sell that because if you have a backpack if you're traveling, kung mag-airplano ka, you have a carry-on luggage, hand carry tsaka check-in, 'di ba? And even passport case, wallet, belt bag, you expand from there. So, that's where you expand your product. Kasi investors would never invest in a brand wherein hindi siya scalable. Like if you're one trick pony, like I know someone that sells, yung alam mo sa toilet bowl, yung mga light lang siya. Iba-ibang klaseng ilaw. So yung urinal mo, pag may kinakabit sa ilalim, naging iba-iba siyang ilaw. So pag gabi, automatic na-detect pag upo mo, kung anong light na gusto mo, blue, green, yellow, pink, whatever, may ilaw yung ano mo. So that's his product. Pero once he started selling products na for the toilet, wala na. Kasi limited lang siya to that kind of product. So yours is expandable. It's a niche. Your product will always be a niche. It's not a general product, but it's consumable. Kasi once you buy a humidor, that's it. Unless it gets broken or it's too small for you, you will not upgrade to the next one. Diba? Hindi ka na bibili. Like, when you buy a luggage, hanggang masira na yun. Diba? Pero what you put inside and everything else, yun yung mga consumable. Like yung gulong niya, replaceable, yung mga ganyan. Now, where's your focus at gonna be?
Humidor.
See? Good.
So, hindi pa ako makaka-post pa hanggat hindi.
Now, you can use stock images. Just give credit where it's due.
Okay.
Diba?
Tsaka teaser.
Ha?
Teaser.
Yeah. Oh, you can tease people of what you're offering, but more so than just the humidor, tell them why they need to buy a humidor. If you're a cigar user, what's in it for me? Why should I buy something that's worth 40,000 and more?
Okay.
Diba? So there's so many reasons. I mean, you can list them one in one post, another reason in another post, and so on and so forth. Diba? I mean,
Need.
for example, when I buy a gadget, there are so many things listed when I buy a cellphone. Kunwari, cellphone na lang eh. 'Di ba? Do I really need 100x zoom on a camera? Like, am I a voyeur that I need 100x on a camera? Right? There's so many useless functions of a camera that I don't need. Right? But they're specific that you actually need. 'Di ba? When you buy a car, 'di ba? What's important buying a car? It gets you from point A to point B. Will a logo from a Japanese car to a European car matter? If you live, for example, in the Philippines, if you're going from Parañaque to Pasig, does it make a difference that you're using a Toyota versus you're using a Range Rover, for example? I mean, you might go faster, you might get more comfortable, but it still gets you from point A to point B. Diba? Meron lang siyang unique selling point, diba? Luxury, safety, etc. Just status symbol, etc. Whatever it is, it's marketing. We call it in marketing the law of absolute obsolescence. When you buy something this cell phone that I have is an iPhone 12 Pro Max. By the time it becomes October of this year, Apple is gonna say this phone is obsolete because there's an iPhone 13 already, which has 4 cameras. You know, and the screen is now dual. There's a camera. I mean, do I need another screen at the back of my phone? I'm spending 8 hours a day already looking at this. Do I need the second screen? I don't know. I don't know what their unique selling point is, but they keep on offering you things that you don't need. Diba? Because people don't know what they want until you show it to them. Kumbaga, when you go into the mall, sabihin mo, gusto kong bumili ng pulang sapatos, red sneakers for working out. Tapos pagtingin mo dun sa store, sneakers or sa labas sa window, green yung sapatos, pero sobrang ganda kasi yung favorite athlete mo may suot. Kutsa, bibili ka ng red, green na nabili mo. Why? It's because hindi mo alam na yung pala yung gusto mo until nakita mo eh. Diba? Like, when I bought cigars from you, I didn't know what I want until you showed it to me and I tried it. Like, okay, this is my favorite now. Right? You won't know until you try it. Kaya nga, when you buy cars, you want to test drive cars, di ba? Parang, like yesterday, I test drove a car and I said, oh, I didn't know I like this brand. Pero swabe pala siya. So, I might get this car instead. Where I was, for the past 3 months, I was only looking at this brand of car. And my eyes were fixated on this brand of car because this is all I know. And then, kahapon nag-test drive ako ng ibang kotse and said, damn, ganda pala nito. And then when I started reviewing, now you're conditioning yourself na, ay gusto ko to. Gusto ko to. Kasi you research more about the pros of buying something. So from, let's say, buying an Android phone versus an iPhone, it's comparing apples to oranges. We'll waste days talking about which one is better, Android or an Apple device. It's preference, right? It's preference. So you'll be a fan of this, I'll be a fan of this. At the end of the day, it's phone. Or, saan mo ba siya gagamitin? Di ba? Is it for status symbol? Or is it for function? Di ba? Depende. Like, when you got your phone for Humidor, it's not for taking photos. Di ba? It's for answering inquiries. Like, do you need 100x zoom, 108 megapixel camera? No. You need it para may connected kasi internet, respond to messages right away. That's it. Yun. So, focus on what's your main selling point of your product. So, there's so many selling points, right? When you say you're a Humidor, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's so many. That's it.